So I guess the next thing is something that a lot of people have been talking about. There's this guy. His name is Crypto Mason. He is one of the biggest TikTokers in crypto. He's got 1.2 million followers. He's a big XRP guy. He is a big H bar hedera hash graph or whatever guy. And he's very big. He has a huge presence on TikTok. And I like TikTok. But recently he's been talking a lot about HEX, which has gotten people's attention. This was his tweet. He said, "Bro, Richard Hart before HEX was the king of truth of crypto. He still tells me so much truth, but mixes it with shilling HEX and positioning HEX as the solution to the people's problems. My stance on HEX has remained consistent. I'm neutral on it, watching from the sidelines, not negative, not positive." He even sacrificed 1,000 ETH for Pulse. With Richard's knowledge, he could focus his efforts on mass education of the masses. Mass education of the masses. There's so much potential for that dude to change the way crypto hive minds function. For example, one of his videos was that market cap is BS. And he encourages Bitcoin maxis to buy to watch Richard Hart. But that was huge, and he put a lot of time into writing this. And this was very recently; it was February 18th. And he is one of the biggest influencers in crypto, and now he's talking about HEX and Richard Hart very highly. So first, would want to hear your reaction to Crypto Mason's tweet.
I thought it was pretty interesting. I was watching
like
you talk
a heartfelt letter.
Yeah. Hey, listen, dude, when people are going to change their worldview, you got to let them do it. And, I think we want to support people who are doing that, right? If that's his true belief, I don't know if he truly believes what he's saying or not, but I think it's good.
I think if we're talking true belief, he truly believes in HEX. I think he's a little bit more than neutral.
Yeah, that's what you were saying. Well, what's crazy about all this stuff is people, if you think back to the conversation you have with crypto, once, because you're talking about like talking to family members and stuff. Yes, I get that having the discussion about, I get that having the discussion about crypto in general is hard, right? Because the big question is I get all the time is I don't understand how it has any value, right? And without going into great detail, the bottom line is this: is if people give a value, it has value, so it has value, right? And once you can get past that argument, you start talking about crypto. I've been in the Bitcoin space for a long time and crypto space. I mean, I guess it's a long time, 5 years. And that's just because I entered so late. But I mean, when you start talking about if you take the coin names out of it and you start talking about the cryptos, I mean, I don't see how it can really be against HEX, right? If they're being honest, right? Because, and it's all the same stuff you see in the tweets. They've been very well highlighted. Our community, Richard's done a great job with really highlighting what all the arguments are and summarizing the hell out of them, right? I mean, you can go down to the Telegram chat for HEX and just do the pasta. Those are all the arguments. I mean, what new arguments have come up? Somebody else holds a whole bunch. Well, I pretty much know that everything that gets shilled to me, whether it's SHIB or ETH or you pick, it doesn't matter. Somebody else has a bunch of it, right? You go to the rich list and look at that, and you can see all that stuff. So, anyways, my point is the arguments ring kind of hollow.
Yes.
Like I think I might react better to when people are criticizing. I might react better if they had like, some emotional type of reason, or ethics type of reason. But making these lame arguments that something's just a scam is just silly, right?
Yeah.
Anyways, you were asking really a positive question, not a negative question. So here's the thing, right? yeah, it's super positive, man. I mean, I don't know how he couldn't be up on it, right? I mean, you point to something else that I can go to and get into, that isn't going to burn the hell out of me, right? And I don't mean because everybody says it's great. Uh, what happened? What happened with the hourglass games got burned, right? What happened with these things that relied on loans, and I don't mean liquid loans and stuff. I mean the loans to generate returns, right? Got
Mhm.
burned. I almost went into FTX, right? Why? Because I saw FTX everywhere. I saw it everywhere. It was, go into it. Now, why would I have gone into that? I was thinking, well, maybe it would be safe if those guys know what they're doing. Well, I didn't do that, thank God. Right? Part of this, part of this community. I mean, yeah. Anyways, I just think that there's plenty of opportunity to go around for sure. You know.
Yeah, it's just a little bit puzzling. I agree with everything you said, but it's a little bit puzzling that like he watches so much Richard Hart and he speaks so highly of him, yet he remains neutral on Hex. Um, I think a big reason for that is because these influencers have an audience to cater to. And unfortunately, we like to think that it is the influencer that influences his audience, but very often it is the audience that influences the influencer. And what do I mean by that? Is that they don't like Richard Hart and they don't like Hex. They're kind of normies. They're into XRP and hetero hash graph or whatever the hell that is. And Mason knows that if he'd start becoming in those communities, by the way, it seems not like that being inside Hex. They're far bigger than Hex. Mason knows that if he'd start becoming a Richard Hart maximalist or just a Hexican kind of thing, the way he shills XRP, a lot of his demographic is going to leave him. But for me personally, I find it hard to believe that he's not very uber mega bullish on Hex after watching and respecting Richard Hart so much. But what do you think about that? What do you think about Mason being neutral after watching so much Richard Hart?
I can only conjecture, you know.
No, we all that's all that I could do either,
I
by the way.
mean,
So
I don't know. But I think that I, so listen, I assume he's in business, right? And this is how he's making a living.
we're gonna bring that up soon. We're gonna bring that up
So
soon.
he's in business, he's making a living.
Okay, you know what? We're
Um,
gonna bring it up now before you answer it because I was gonna.
well, here's the thing. Forget about him for a moment. Um, I have viewpoints on stuff. Me,
Okay,
right?
okay.
I got viewpoints on stuff.
No, because you say
If
he's
I
trying to make
if
a
I
living.
put if I post the wrong thing, we talk about before I retired. If I posted the wrong thing on Twitter and somebody saw it, I get fired just because they disagree with me. So it's very real. I mean, I don't like that. That's how things are, but that's how they are. I got dogs barking in my background. I don't know if you could hear them or not. Did you hear dogs barking or no?
I heard it. I heard it.
Okay.
Could bring him on
My
the show.
Yeah, I will. I get their little hex outfits, they got their little top hats and whatnot. But my point is that it's very real, right, in the cancel culture that this will happen, and so it makes it very difficult because they have to, people. You would wish that everyone could speak their mind and they wouldn't be punished for that, and then they could be judged. But it seems to go overboard, right? Where it's not just, hey, I don't like what you're saying, I'm not going to follow you. We're just gonna crush you, right? And so I think there's some aspects of that going on for sure.
I just feel bad. He's like a little bit stuck between a rock and a hard place because it's like uh, he likes Richard Hart clearly. He probably wants to go all in on the ecosystem, but at the same time, he's beholden to his fans and other forces. So he's tied up a little bit. I mean,
Yeah, sure.
I
Well, that'll change. That'll change probably, because the more the more exposure the community gets, and the more Hex is known, there'll be more members, and there'll be more people that'll be willing to talk about it. Maybe some will be negative too. It's okay that some people don't like things. I mean, everybody can't like everything. If everybody liked the same thing, there wouldn't be any changes or anything. So, but yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with him. But what do you know about his business model?
Well, we're gonna get to that. So I guess we could skip. He doubled down. He did like another tweet because someone said neutral. What a joke. And then the very next day, Mason says, "I have officially ended my sponsorship contract with Binance. Thought you guys deserve some full transparency. There are no exchanges that I am partnered with right now. Yes, I was partnered with them. You would do a partnership with them too if you were in the same position. Don't put us in your. I don't like when people do that, but whatever. They are a great company, and Binance is still one of my favorites. I've been using it for 5 years. So there's two possibilities here. One, this was the day after he tweeted about Hex. So one possibility is the Binance deal is over. Binance obviously owns CoinMarketCap, which does not take too kindly to Hex. So maybe he's like, okay, I'm free. I could finally speak my mind. That's possibility A. Possibility is B is he didn't realize the Binance situation, that Binance was hostile towards Hex, and he got cut because he talked about Hex. He got cut from Binance because he talked about Hex. Which one do you think it is? And this is all completely speculative. Obviously, we don't know. I have not been talking to Mason. I hope he's watching, and we love Crypto Mason. We hope he becomes a Hexagon. But which one do you think it is? And what's your overall thoughts on the Binance partnership?
He asked me to comment on this guy's business. I don't know what the hell he's.
Absolutely, that's all we could do is comment.
I'll go with probably the most likely scenario is a lot of soul searching probably during the bear, and he's obviously been listening to some of the things Richard has to say, and maybe he's not focusing on the unboxing videos and whatnot, or he's focusing on the content, and there's a lot of really good advice in there, and so maybe it's just simply he's coming around, and it just happened. This happens sometimes, coincidence.
But it didn't happen before the Binance partnership ended. I mean,
well, sure. Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I assume that you've been involved with some organizations, right, or businesses and whatnot. Yeah, usually they expect you not to say bad things about what they do, and not and to say say good things about what they do and take their side, right?
But here's the question: is that what made the sponsorship end? Did he cross the line and Binance is like, you're out? Or was it the contract was over and he's like, okay, now I could finally speak my mind?
What was the date?
The first tweet, here we go. This was February 18th, 11 p.m. And this was February 19th, 9:52 p.m.
Yeah,
very interesting. I was the first one to discover that.
Yeah, you know what, I think I discovered what it is. That day, that night, there was a waning crescent moon, and that's what happened. That's what happened.
People are very into the moon cycles these days.
Yeah, I don't know.
You have to give us an answer, Chrispy Man.
I have to give you an answer.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know.
No, you have to.
I give you my answer. I think he just it just was a coincidence. That's it.
No, it's definitely not. There's definitely not a coincidence.
A lot of things happen that are coincidences.
It's option A, the contract expired, or option B is the Hex tweet expired the contract.
Yeah, I suspect this is for the purposes of short videos in the future to catch me saying something like
absolutely.
that.
But guess what? We show the Chrispy Man Patreon in the description of these short videos and all your links.
So now I can't see now I can't say anything bad.
Exactly.
Right?
Now you have to give us an answer. It's got to be for a sound.
See how this works?
Yeah.
So Briz says there are no coincidences. That's funny.
Okay, we have Hex Squid is saying, play the Mason apology clip. I'm a man of the people.
Oh,
Am I gonna get strike if I play it?
I don't think if it's on YouTube and you can get to it, I think you can share it now. Actually, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer.
Hex Squid. I'm scared. Let's do it because I'd only get a strike if Mason reports it. And Mason, if you're the real deal here, you're gonna be okay with me sharing the clip, okay? So
Hey, while you do that, I'm gonna go take care of these dogs. I'll be right back.
you bring them over. All right. We're gonna find the clip for you, Hex Squid. And while I'm at it, guys, might as well shill my website. I do cryptocurrency coaching, education. Go to furufinance.com and book your free one-on-one today. It's free and it's a one-on-one with me. So go to furufinance.com. Let's get to this tweet. Okay. Now I'm going to reshare it. Present. All right. We got it for when Chrispy Man is back. But in the meantime, go check out my Patreon. A link is in the description. Go subscribe to the channel and like the video if you haven't already. And let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section. DJ Cryptomatic says, Brazology, I want to do a barbecue course. Oh my God, you're making me hungry, bro. There's no coincidences. I don't know about none, but this does not seem like one, to say the least. Smash the likes on this alpha stream, guys. Yes, thank you, DJ Cryptomatic. And make sure you're following DJ Cryptomatic on Twitter. I know there was a debacle there, and unfortunately he lost his account. But he got a new one, or maybe he got the old one back. Did you get the old one back? But you go make sure you're following him, and then you could watch Discourse Syndicate in the morning. He's on there with a bunch of great people saying a bunch of very good things. And Davis says the influencers sometimes get paid to shill the projects they rave about. Sometimes, I think sometimes is a little bit of an understatement, but great point. Crispy Man, how are you? How the dogs doing? They behaving?
Yeah, they're fine. They're quiet now. Hey, you know, hey, Briz, if you want to do a barbecue thing, let's talk about that. I think maybe it's DJ Cryptomatic has made the barbecue comment. I'm a smoker, man.
They're not giving his old account. I'm sorry to hear that. But okay, let's play the clip and maybe we could get an answer out of Crispy Man, okay?
All right, so let's get into talking about HEX right here. We've had some Twitter shenanigans going on with me writing little write-ups about HEX, but this is my official video message to the HEX community, okay? Now, only dumb people think that people can't update their opinions on coins. For example, a year ago, you know, I thought completely different about HEX than I do now, and now I understand HEX and I understand Richard Hart. Before, I was very ignorant and just dismissing it because everyone else was just calling it a scam. So here is HEX currently down 10%, and here's the yearly chart as well. But let's talk about these threads that I put out. So basically I said, bro, Richard Hart before HEX was like the king of truth in crypto. Okay, and I still believe he is one of the kings of truth in crypto. You know, just go watch an hour of Richard Hart content on his live stream and he'll be debunking like 40 different myths about crypto and telling you the actual truth. Richard Hart is the reason I understand why market cap is bullshit in crypto. And I've shown you guys this so many times, man, and people still think that I'm like against HEX or something. I am neutral on HEX. which means I'm just watching it and I'm very interested to see what happens with it. So as you see, why is HEX 7th on the market cap? Okay, this is because HEX actually has a market cap right now of 17 billion freaking dollars. But idiots like CoinMarketCap, they gate this total. They gatekeep this total. So as you can see on CoinMarketCap, where is HEX? Well, let's type it in. HEX is actually ranked 201 on the market cap. Okay, so why are they doing that? This is because Binance owns CoinMarketCap, and they are gatekeeping the entire concept of market cap. Because if people in crypto understood market cap, their minds would be blown on how much it doesn't matter at all. So, I even sacrificed $1,000 of ETH for Pulse. I'm not negative on HEX, but I'm not positive. I'm neutral. I just watch it from the sidelines. I love what Richard Hart has to say. And then, someone even had a problem with this. This guy says, neutral. What a joke. Mason Versluis has been a HEX hater for years. When Richard Hart interview, prove us wrong. So, this classic HEX community person just, urging the hater to do promotion of HEX to prove them wrong. So, no, I don't need Richard to come on the show, on my channel to prove this wrong. Right. So here's my actual story. Here's my actual story with HEX. Right. Let me just see. Hold on. I lost it here. Here's my story with HEX. I quote tweeted this and I said, yes, I'm neutral on HEX. People are allowed to change their opinion on a cryptocurrency when new info is acquired. Here we go. This is my story with HEX. The first thing I ever heard about HEX was that it was a scam. I saw some video clips on it and did minuscule research on it. I then prematurely posted a TikTok dissing HEX and saying it's a scam. And that's what all of these HEX people put on display. They don't put my new updated thoughts on HEX. They just put that video on display, which is an outdated video now because my opinions have been updated. I said, yes, I am in the wrong here for dismissing a project before doing proper research. This is now something I advocate for. Don't dismiss any project quickly. Just make money off of them. Unless you know it's a scam for sure, then obviously you should dismiss it. Since that video, a year or 2 years ago now, I've watched hours and hours of Richard Hart talking on his live stream and realized what a crypto genius he really is. And then I linked 4 different videos where I've updated my thoughts on HEX. Okay, so there's my message. HEX community, y'all are listening to a man who has a lot of truth about crypto. I love it. I support the truth about crypto. I just wish that Richard Hart would focus more of his energy on, educating the masses because he has amazing points. Everyone in crypto needs to understand that market cap is bullshit. Come on, let's team up and put that on display. Let's blast these messages that don't invest in projects that have admin keys, right? Don't keep your money on centralized exchanges. All of Richard's stuff is amazing. The messages he has, but he mixes it in with positioning HEX as the solution to everyone's problems. And, as he should, he's the founder of the project.
Okay. A long video. What's your initial reaction? Chrispy Man and DJ Cryptomatic. I think you're wrenched up. But yes. What's your thoughts on that, Chrispy Man?
That's pretty awesome.
This guy's huge, by the way. Let me just say, this guy is the biggest TikTok account that I've seen.
He's saying there's a chance. There's a chance he's going to change his opinion in the future and go full on bull. So he probably will, I would guess. I think it's good. I mean, I don't agree with some things, right? Because obviously I didn't stop at neutral, so I'm biased. I'm way on the other side of this, but yeah.
Well, I was talking to a really smart guy this morning who might be on the show. He's like, he compares it to like in high school when this guy keeps on telling you that he doesn't like this girl and that he hates this girl, and then he says it every day, and okay, obviously you're very into this girl. That was a very good comparison. What do you think about that?
Yeah, That yeah, that could work. I have a couple other thoughts that went through my mind, mostly X-rated, but yeah. Hey, yeah, like Briz is saying, yeah, there's a lot of these. Listen, this is a new layer one, so there anything can happen with this. People are going to ape in every direction. I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they?
I think we're starting to see the climax of the influencer gatekeeping. It's funny how he said also that like I used to, he was talking about coin market cap gatekeeping, and then like he's like, and then I realized he said like something happened, and then he realized, and now he's talking about it. I'm thinking like, by something happened, do you mean that your partnership with Binance ended? But I don't want to be like I don't want to be too hard on him, because first of all, I think he's a really cool guy. I love that he's doing it right. He's on TikTok. He's hip. He's young. He's charismatic. It would be amazing for him to be in the HEX community, but at the same time, he is a little bit easy to make fun of, to pick fun at, in the sense that like, he's trying to make it like he's not head over heels about HEX and Richard Hart, and he doesn't like everything about it. It's just a little bit, it's cute, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see it. I can see it. I mean, I'm excited about it. I like it. I like that he changed his worldview. And I think there's going to be a lot more people like that.
Yeah, and I'm sorry. Yeah, no, and also, he said we should team up, right, to get the truth out. But at the same time, he doesn't want to do the interview, which was very interesting that he's saying team up. I think it's just a matter of time. And this is what I said. I said, like, you can't expect the influencers to do the work for you. The influencers are influenced by their demographic, by their audience, which mostly has a negative outlook on HEX. I mean, that's just the way it is. People are too shallow to really look into things, and they just see the maybe outrage marketing, and they see the poor price performance, and they hear everyone say it's a scam. So I think the influencers are really going to talk about it when it's a blue chip. But until then, it's on us to talk about it. I don't think anyone's going to come out there and save us, kind of thing. It's on us, and we're going to do it, and we're doing it on TikTok, and we're doing it here. But yeah, that's really that.
Yeah, I like what's been happening with the community more recently, for sure. Somebody asked me this question where it made a comment about community, and so I went back to my beliefs on this, right? So I think we have an excellent community, of course, right? I mean, I think that community is probably the number one reason for success, right? You could argue maybe it's number two, but it's certainly very big up there. One of the things we have to do is we got to stay diligent. Just because you hear people saying a bunch of stuff doesn't mean that's the whole community, right? It's only the people that are really noisy and like to talk and or get out in front of things, and they can be a little bit more rambunctious, right? But what I was going to get to is our community is a group, and group dynamics kind of work like this, that you bring a group together, a new group of people, for whatever reason, their needs, wants, desires all come together, right? And you go through periods that are called storming and norming periods until the groups finally disband. And the storming is all this about finding your place in the group, and what is the message of the group, and how are they going to, what are the core values of the group. And then you kind of norm out when things get settled. That seems to go with price a little bit, right? People kind of calm down with better pricing or better prices, and certainly green candles. But then they're going to come back and revisit again, right? Because what will happen is we're going to get another 100,000 people or another 20,000 people, and they're going to enter in the community, and they don't know what you've already gone through. And so they're just going to keep going through this cycle. So I think it's pretty normal as a reminder, right? And even with this new guy coming in, right? He's got to storm a norm with everybody else, and until we get to some sort of status quo again, and then we'll get some more people in. But I think here's the difference about our community and other communities. The core of the community are stakers, and just using the averages, right? If the core of our community are stakers, they're here for a long time, 6 or 7 years. So people aren't cycling out the way you might see in some other communities. So
yeah, it is. It has its ups and its downs. So like the people that you want out, I mean, the ups definitely far outweigh the downs, but the negative is the people that you want out are not leaving.